In this lecture, guys, we are going to do something very simple. I just want to show you several options within the timeline for the column of the patching, source patching, the lock, the targeting, and the sync lock that you haven't seen until now. These are small details that are very important and will help you a lot. I want to equip you as much as possible for you to start doing refine edit using the editing tools. Okay, so let's start. You remember you have your patch here, source patching. This is when you patch a clip from the project panel or the source monitor. You decide which patch you want to use. You have the lock column and you have the target column. This is toggle the track targeting. And you have also this toggle sync lock. This is the sync lock. We'll see how it works. And of course, you can toggle track output or not. Not only it becomes visible, but also it will not output when you are rendering. Now, one of the options that we have seen is the up and down arrow. And I think it's good to revise it a bit. If you press the down arrow, you will be moving on every single edit point of all the clips that are on the timeline. So you notice here it's jumping to V2 edit points and also to V1 edit points. This is happening. I know we already said it, but I want to just make sure that you know it very well because you have targeted V2 and V1. If you remove V1 and audio 1, of course, because we have audio all over the place, then it will only be jumping to the edit points of the track 2. And this is very practical and very important when you are trying to work on a single track. For example, your B-roll. You finish from your interview and you're working on B-roll, so really you want to untarget the track. Cool. Now you notice that you have nothing highlighted in the source patching. Why is that? We always had something highlighted here like V1 or V2. This is because the patching happens when there is something to patch. Now, in my source monitor, there is nothing, and I haven't selected any clip within the project panel. So actually, Premiere Pro doesn't find any need to highlight any of these for you because you haven't selected anything. But now, if you select a clip, immediately they are highlighted, and they are highlighted according to the last time you highlighted them. So now you can change your highlighting, for example. Of course, if you double click and open something in the source monitor, whatever you do now, they're going to be highlighted because Premiere Pro assumes that you are going to start do some patching. So we know also these are the target for the patching using insert or edit or even inserting video only or audio only. I'm sure you tried this one. They're very easy to use. Now you notice that this clip, we have forgotten to put it in the timeline. So I will use the down arrow to position the playhead just at the end of the edit point of this clip here. Okay, down arrow. You notice it has clipped V1. And I want to do an insert edit. Now I can use comma or click. I'm going to use the click here to demonstrate very well for you. If I click it, it will do an insert edit because V1 and A1 are highlighted and selected. I will undo this. But now assume that you clicked here. You notice now V1 is showing but is not selected. So this is selected, this is not selected. If you do an insert, you will notice that it has added only the audio because the audio is selected. I will undo that. If by mistake they are both off, you can keep on clicking here, nothing happens because Premiere Pro does not know where to patch. Okay, these are small remarks that you want to keep in mind because you forgot, for example, or clicked by mistake here. Cool. There is another option, and I hope you played with it, is to press the Alt or Option on the Mac and click. You notice now you have a black border here for the V1. And also you can do the same for A1. Here you are. But now what this means? It means that you are going to insert a black video and silence. And this is pretty interesting. Now, if you click here, what's going to be inserted is the black video and silence to the length of your clip or the in and out point of your clip. To demonstrate it better for you, let's go stand here just to cut this one and press on the insert here. So notice that it has inserted a black video over here and silence over here. That could be very useful from time to time to insert some space if you don't want to use the track select tool. It has its own problems, but you will get used to it. I'm sure you will find very many applications for it. Okay, I will undo this. Now, this is about the black video. I will select again, Here you are. Let's go back to our edit point here where we want to insert the video. And if I do insert, as you know, it's going to split the video on track 1. This is not exactly what you want. There are two options to avoid this. First option is to lock your track. So if I lock it, and make sure you're locking the audio with it, and then if you do an insert here, then you notice that track 1 has not been affected because it's locked. Now this is pretty cool, but you cannot work anymore with track 1. So you need to go back and unlock it, for example. I will undo all this. Here you are, we unlocked. The second option is to use the sync lock. When sync lock is on, now it's on, this is off, this is on. It means that track 1 is sync locked with all the other tracks. If you do an insert on the tracks above or under, whatever, then track 1 is sync locked and is going to be affected. But you can put this one off. Let's make sure that we also put it off for the audio 1. When you put it off, it means track 1 now has become independent of the other tracks in terms of syncing, of course. So is no more sync locked. It is sync unlocked. That's the way to say it, I think so. So now, if you do an insert edit, here you are, track 1 is not affected at all. Now you can continue working if you like, there is no problem. And if you do another insert here, it will work very fine. The other tracks are still locked. So if I choose 1 and A1 and V1 and I do an insert, for example, is not what you want, but I just do it as an example. Here you are, you notice that the tracks above are still sync locked and they have been affected. So this is how to use the sync lock, and it's pretty easy, and I want you to start using it. One more thing I would like to mention to you, and it's very important, is the linked selection. Now when it's blue in CC217, it means it is selected or it's on. Link selection is used to select video and audio, or to link the video to its own audio. For example, here if I click on the video, you will notice that also the audio has been selected. This happens because link selection is on. If you put it off and you click on a video or an audio, it will select only the video you clicked on or the audio you clicked on. So it's pretty practical, but also it has its problems. For example, if by mistake you click and drag, as soon as you drop it, you notice that you have certain figures here, +301. It means the video is not anymore synced with its audio. So now the audio is 3 seconds and 01 frame before the video. And the video is 3 seconds and 01 frame after the audio. Because there is a plus, it's after. Because there is a minus, it is before. So you really don't want to do this kind of mistakes and move something. But from time to time, it's very useful to use them. If you put the linked selection on and you want just to select the video, you can just use the modifier key Alt or Option on the Mac. So if I press Alt, and if you are on the Mac, press Option, and you click, you will be selecting only the video. If you do that the same here, you will be selecting only the audio. Now this is pretty practical because sometimes, okay, I don't want the audio over here, I just want to keep the video, so you can click on it and say delete. Of course, you still have the same problems. Be careful that if you click and drag, for example, you will have unsynced the video and the audio. Cool. So this is the way to use the Alt key or Option on the Mac to select individually the audio or the video. Whatever I explained to you here is fine, but you doing the experience is much more important and noticing exactly what's happening. Please don't jump above these things. Try to understand exactly how Premiere Pro works. And when you understand how Premiere Pro works, you will be able to understand any other video editing software, how it works and what is required for you to do great video editing. Okay, these were simple tips, but important ones. I will urge you to come to Premiere Pro and play with them. And in the next section, we start refining our edit and learning everything about the tools in the toolbar. See you then.